Welcome back to the channel. It's Formula Park One. We showcase amateur athletes and amateur news every day. If you're a player or coach and would like an interview, DM me for a collaboration. And if you're loving the content, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Today we'll talk about the AP poll, and coming at number one is Ohio State with a record of 8-0. And last week they was ranked number one. In their last game, they defeated Penn State 38-14. And they play Purdue on Saturday. Coming in number two is the Indiana Hoosiers that was previously ranked number two in the nation. And they come in this week with a record of 9-0, and they defeated Maryland 55-10. And their next opponent is against Penn State. Coming at number three is Texas A&M, and they was previously ranked number three. They come in this week with a record of 8-0, and this week they was idle. And their next opponent is against Penn State. Coming in at number four is Alabama. Roll Tide. They was previously ranked number four, and they come in this week with a record of 7-1. And last week they was idle, and they have a big game against LSU. Coming in number five is the Georgia Bulldogs, who have a record, an overall record of 5-1 and a conference record of 3-1, and they beat Auburn 20-10. And next game they play is against Mississippi State. Coming at number six is Oregon. They have overall record of 5-1 and a conference record of 2-1. In their last game, they lost to Indiana 20-30, and their next game is against Iowa. And coming in number seven is Ole Miss, who has a record of 8-1, and they beat Washington State 24-21, and they play Citadel next game they have. Coming in number eight is BYU, who has a record of 8-0, and they went up two spots. In their last game, they beat Arizona 33-27, and they play Texas Tech next week. Coming at number nine is Texas Tech. They went up four spots, and their overall record is 8-1. In last game they played, they beat Kansas 42-17, and their next game is against BYU. And coming at number 10 in this Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They went up two spots, and they have a record of 6-2. They defeated North Carolina State 36-7, and they played Navy Saturday. Coming at number 11 is Oklahoma, who has a record of 7-2, and they went up seven spots. They lost to Texas 6-23, and their next game they play against Alabama on November the 15th. Coming at number 12 is Virginia, who has a record of 8-1, and they went up three spots. They beat Louisville 30-27, and they play Wake Forest on November the 8th. Coming at number 13 is Texas, who has a record of 7-2. They went up seven spots, and they beat Oklahoma 23-6, and they play Georgia on November the 15th. Coming at number 14 is Louisville, who has a record of 7-1. They went up two spots, and they lost to Virginia 27-30, and they play California this coming Saturday. Coming at number 15 is Vanderbilt, who has a record of 7-2, and they went down 6 spots because they lost to Alabama. Game played 30-14, and they play Auburn next week, a big SEC matchup. Coming in at number 16 is Georgia Tech, who has a record of 8-1. They went down 8 spots. They beat Virginia Tech 35-20, and they play Boston College on November the 15th. Coming at number 17 is Utah, who have the record of 7-2, and they went up 7 spots, beating Arizona State 42-10, and they play Baylor on November the 15th. Coming in at number 18 is the Miami Hurricanes, who has a record of 6-2, and they went down 8 spots, losing to SMU, a tough game, 28-22, and they play Syracuse on November the 15th. And coming at number 19 is Missouri, who has a record of 6-2. Missouri lost to Vanderbilt in a tough game, 17-10. And coming in at number 20 is USC, who come in this week with a record of 6-2. They went up 3 spots as they beat Nebraska 21-17, and their next opponent is Northwestern. Coming in at number 21 is Michigan with a record of 7-2. They beat Purdue 21-16, and their next opponent is Northwestern. And coming in at number 22 is Memphis, who has a record of 8-1. They went up 3 spots, and they beat Rice 38-14. They play Tulane Friday, November the 7th. Coming at number 23 is Tennessee with a record of 6-3. They went down 9 spots, and they lost to Oklahoma 33-27, and their next opponent is at Mexico State. Coming at number 24 is Washington with a record of 6-2. They beat Illinois 42-25, and they play Wisconsin next Saturday. And last but not least is Cincinnati Bearcats, who has a record of 7-2. They went down 8 spots. They was beat by Utah 45-14, and the next game they play Arizona on November the 15th. For all your amateur news, subscribe to Formula Park 1 on YouTube. And if you like this content, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and make a small donation for us to build this platform up. Thank you for your support.